Should be starting right now. Should load really soon. Okay. There we are. Yeah, see us. I think we're good. I think we are good to start. So make sure we're in. Alright, you said your boys are ready? Bet, let's do it. Wait. My bad. Fixing one thing real quick, guys. Hang in there for a sec. Let's do it. Alright, here we go. Welcome back to our third live edition of Ballaholics. We are back for our third episode. We are super excited. I'm your host, Sam Israel, once again. And actually, we have two special guests with me today. You know, friends of mine at school in Binghamton University. We got Z and Derek. Really happy to have you guys on the show today. Really happy to have you guys today. So we got a lot in store for you guys today, obviously. I just wanted to say that this show, you guys can actually call in to the show. So I put the instructions in the YouTube bio as to how to do that. So if you want to call in, we're going to discuss our segments. Just feel free to follow the instructions on YouTube, and we'll accept your calls as time goes on. So let's get started, guys, without further ado. And, you know, for the first segment, you guys know me. I'm a suffering Knicks fan. So, of course, you know, more rumors get brought up. Trade rumors surrounding Chris Paul now, CP3 of the OKC Thunder. The Knicks are making calls possibly to acquire Chris Paul. If you guys are the New York Knicks, do you guys think that the Knicks should go after Chris Paul? Who wants to start? Go ahead, Derek. Yup. His contract expires, I believe, 2022. But in 2021, he's getting paid $44 million. So, yeah, this guy is getting paid. And, yeah, in my opinion, I can just start right now. I want to say that I believe Chris Paul, before I begin, I want to preface it really by saying he's a future Hall of Famer. He's very well respected. He's the president, obviously, of the Players Association. He's one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game of basketball. And I would say probably the most purest point guard when you think about it. I think if the Knicks acquired him, he'd be great for the culture. I think that he brings a winning mentality wherever he goes. I mean, he literally got exiled to go to OKC from Houston after they lost to Golden State and after he wasn't getting along with James Harden. And then, he just went to OKC and just brought that team to the 6th seed in the West. So I think what Chris Paul does and what he brings to a team is incredible. And he'd be a great mentor for R.J. Barrett and, of course, Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson. I think he'd be a great veteran presence. Here's where the problems come in, Z and Derek. Here's what I'm thinking about, though. Chris Paul is 35 years old. He has so much injury history. And the problem is also his contract. Because in 2021, there is a loaded NBA free agency class. It's one of the most loaded free agency classes we have ever seen. And I can just, work down the list. You ready, guys? Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Anthony Davis, Gordon Hayward, LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin, DeMar DeRozan, PG-13, Paul George, Drew Holiday, Bradley Beal, Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert. I can keep going on, guys, if you want. I mean, it's a loaded class. And the fact of the matter is, if we were to trade for Chris Paul, let's just say, because obviously COVID-19 is upon us. COVID-19 is lowering the cap space for the NBA possibly. So some people are predicting that the NBA cap decreases to $100 million. If that were to be the case, Chris Paul's contract would make up 40% of the New York Knicks roster. So we wouldn't be able to go after any free agents in the 2021 class. So for me, it's a no. Yeah, 100%, 100%. I see to your point about the Knicks being the laughing stock and all this. You know what? Listen, like the Knicks do foolish stuff, and I'm not saying that James Dolan is the best owner in all sports, but I think that the media, the big media outlets, they like to create this false narrative. They like to pursue this false narrative, saying how dysfunctional the Knicks are. But I think if you look at the Kevin Durant situation, if Kevin Durant didn't have that horrific injury, I definitely think that Kevin Durant, there would have been a great chance for Kevin Durant to come. And in 2021, there's a loaded free agency draft class. I just named like over 10 players. The Knicks are bound to land one or two of those players. I think the main reason why KD didn't come was because he wanted another top tier all-star to come with him. And Kyrie Irving was set on going to the Nets. And, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, it was a strong draft class last year. However, in 2021, there are a multitude of free agents that are top tier quality. I don't think that, every single one of them is going to pass up the opportunity to play in MSG. And if we trade for Chris Paul, we are limiting ourselves. We are closing our flexibility. It's very bad for the flexibility, and that's a concern I have. Top five players, sure. Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Anthony Davis, Paul George. That's five right there. Top tier stars. Right now, it doesn't look like it. I think that as long as the Knicks focus on developing their young guys, their young guns, and R.J. Barrett and Mitchell Robinson, I do believe they have a chance. The problem was that the Knicks didn't have any quality. They weren't really investing in their roster. Instead, they were so focused on chasing these big time free agents. So I'm not saying necessarily it's all about 2021. The main priority, no doubt, is to develop the young players. But you also should remain flexible. I'm not saying that those top five players are definitely destined to arrive at the Knicks in 2021. But you want to have that flexibility. And with Chris Paul, with the injury concerns, he's 35 years of age. I don't know if Right now he's playing well, but I don't know if he can do that next year or the year after that. It's a little questionable for me. Mm-hmm. What was that, Derek? I can't hear you too well. I can hear you a little bit, but I can't hear you too well. Yeah, I agree. And like, I just want to say also, I just want to say also, I think that I really do believe that the Knicks can use someone like Chris Paul, and it's upsetting because I would want them to go after him. The problem is the general manager Sam Presti is not going to give up Chris Paul for nothing, and I think he's going to want a young player. He might want a couple picks. I'm not giving up a couple picks for Chris Paul. I'm just not doing it for a 35-year-old Chris Paul he's under the books for $44 million in 2021. It's just not worth it for me. I think that he really checks the boxes though. I mean, like he's a four-time assist leader. The Knicks ranked 27th in assists this season. Chris Paul, he's been on 9 defensive teams, and the Knicks were bottom 8 in defensive efficiency. Chris Paul, out of any current active player, has the most steals. The Knicks, again, not so good on the defensive end. So Chris Paul would definitely bring an upper edge for the Knicks. I just don't see a trade happening. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm gonna go check and see if anyone wants to call in. If you guys watching at home want to call into the show, you can do so now. Let's see. I think we do have a caller. I'm trying to see. Let's see what we got. We do got someone waiting. Let's see. All right, here we go. What's going on, man? Can you hear me? What's going on, man? Doing good, Mike. Doing good, Mike. So what do you think, man? What do you think the Knicks should do? Should they trade for Chris Paul? Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. And I just believe that you don't know with Chris Paul. I think he's too old. I think it's very questionable. I wish it would be cool if he was a little younger, but I don't know. I agree with you, Mike. I agree with you, Mike. There. And actually, that was another point I was thinking about because I feel like if you trade for Chris Paul, you might have to give up assets for him. Whereas you can wait until a disgruntled star wants out of their respective team, like a Donovan Mitchell, for example, or a Victor Oladipo, and then you could use those assets to trade for them. But I agree with you. I don't know if it makes sense for them to trade for Chris Paul, who's an aging veteran. All right, Mike. I appreciate the call, man. All right. There we go. We got one caller right there. Um, Anyone else want to call in? Follow the instructions on our YouTube page. I posted them. I tried to be very clear with them. I'm hoping it works. Hoping we get some people to call in. And once again, if you call in now, it's not you can't call in later on for other segments because we have some other segments we're going to talk about for sure as well. All right. It doesn't look like anyone else is calling in at this moment in time, so I think we can move. I think we can move on to the next segment. Honestly, we're gonna do that. All right. Awesome. Yeah. So obviously we spoke about Chris Paul, who's an aging veteran. The Knicks shouldn't go for him. I believe was our consensus. Let's move on to a way too early prediction for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo right now is having a career year on the Milwaukee Bucks. Yes, Derek, I know you like that. I know you like that image. I don't know if you see it, but the image I have in front of you guys, Giannis Antetokounmpo is in a Warriors jersey in 2021. So for this segment, we want to discuss which team do you guys believe Giannis Antetokounmpo should be playing for in 2021? Derek? Yep. Yeah. Um, Here's what I gotta say. So, like, obviously he's having a magical season this year. Giannis Antetokounmpo, whether I liked it or not, he was the MVP last season over James Harden. Um, my thing is this: I feel like Giannis Antetokounmpo, he got his MVP award. Now he wants to win, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to win. So I'm a little concerned because I think this was the year for Giannis Antetokounmpo to win in the East. When you think about it, Kevin Durant was injured, so the Nets were out of it. The Philadelphia 76ers are undergoing, they have some dysfunctionality going on there. The Boston Celtics, they're young with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They're only going to get better. So this was the time for the Milwaukee Bucks to strike. So if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, I am praying that the season goes on, because if it doesn't go on, then really they only have next year to prove to Giannis that they are a winning team and that they can win the NBA title. Well, they're a winning team, but are they a title team? Can they perform in the playoffs? We saw Chris Middleton have trouble in the playoffs against the Toronto Raptors, for example. When the Bucks were up 2-0 against the Toronto Raptors, if the Bucks win that third game, you already know the series is done. It's a wrap. That game, Chris Middleton shot 3 for 16. So your second option is Chris Middleton, who he's a good player. He's a mediocre player, top 20 player maybe, top 25 definitely. But does he show up in the playoffs? And then your third option is Eric Bledsoe. Now, if you leave Milwaukee, you can go to the Golden State Warriors potentially, where your second option can be Steph Curry, your third option can be Klay Thompson. Even if you go to the Miami Heat, your second option can be Jimmy Butler. And Z, I see you're a little distressed right now. I don't know if it's because I know you're a diehard Milwaukee Bucks fan, man, but talk to me. What are you thinking? What do you think, Derek? Yeah, I agree with that. 100%, 100%. I think if the Warriors, people were talking about that they acquired Andrew Wiggins in order to acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo in a sign and trade come 2021. And I was seeing a report where they were going to offer, this would be a trade they would offer to the Bucks. It would be Andrew Wiggins, the first round prospect of next year, this coming draft, maybe another lottery pick, and Draymond Green for Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's for the Warriors, and I can't even imagine if Giannis Antetokounmpo joined the Warriors and did exactly what Kevin Durant did. I mean, it sort of reminds me of the similar situation in the fact that Kevin Durant, no one knew that Kevin Durant was serious about leaving OKC and that he would ever go to Golden State. Giannis Antetokounmpo is now approaching that age that Kevin Durant was. He's approaching his prime. So Giannis Antetokounmpo right now, obviously 25. He'll be 26 or 27 when he makes that big decision. And if he goes to Golden State, man, it would be crazy. Though if he did go to Golden State, I definitely think it might end differently than Kevin Durant did. I feel like Giannis Antetokounmpo is more unselfish. He's not more of an ISO scorer. I think he would mesh very well with Steph Curry. I mean, I remember watching that All-Star game a couple years ago where Steph Curry lobbed it up all the way up here. It was all the way up. And Giannis Antetokounmpo went all the way up and just slammed it in. So they would be an amazing duo. And on paper, Steph Curry and Giannis Antetokounmpo is a match made in heaven. Steph Curry obviously is a major perimeter threat. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, slamming monstrous dunks inside, I just think they'd be an amazing duo. I just want to say also real quick, right now we're using this through Zoom. We're doing this live call through Zoom. And it looks like this Zoom call that I'm using, it says it's going to expire in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So we might have to go off briefly for 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, we might have to go off the Zoom call and just reset the Zoom to reset everything. So we'll do that soon, I think. Yeah, because you guys see that? Zoom is making us go off in 3 minutes. It's being weird. So I think it has it expires. It expires after a certain amount of time. So I think if you're more than 2 people, it expires within 40 minutes. It's really dumb, but they want to make money off it, of course. We can accept some live callers right now for the last 3 minutes. So if you guys are watching at home and want to call in, definitely feel free to call in once again. Definitely looking for some live callers. So we can give that a minute right now. See if anyone is interested in calling in live. But it does look like they're making us get out. They're gonna make us leave briefly. It looks like Zoom is. I think they all have Pro though. They don't have the Pro edition. We don't got the Pro edition. The classrooms, the teachers, big Harvey Stanger, they're chilling. So we'll stick on for another couple of minutes, another couple of seconds, see if people want to call in real quick, and then we're gonna have to get rid of this Zoom call, create another Zoom call. I think the live video will still go on, hopefully. So it doesn't look like anyone wants to call in. Yeah. So honestly, yeah, this is talk about the Miami Heat. I think Giannis Antetokounmpo, if he went to the Golden State Warriors, he would get so much hate, which it almost makes it not worth to go. So I think he should consider going to the Miami Heat instead because, again, Giannis Antetokounmpo, his game is like driving to the paint. So he thrives when he has perimeter shooters around him. And I mean, if you look at the Miami Heat's core of shooters, I mean, they have shooters all around. Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. And then your second option, you go from Chris Middleton, who maybe is top 20, to Jimmy Butler, who is a bona fide all-star, a proven veteran who can play in the playoffs. I remember he carried that Philadelphia 76ers team on his back in the playoffs last year. So I definitely think that Miami Heat is definitely a viable option. And if you know Pat Riley, he's a big game hunter. So they're going to be extremely aggressive to get a big-time free agent. So let's see. I'm going to look one last time. We do have a caller. Let's go admit them. We have less than a minute left, so let's see. What's up, man? We got less than a minute left. So how you doing, man? What's good, Mike? Ooh, that's an enticing one. Maybe we'll speak about that once we reestablish the Zoom. But that's an option. Z doesn't like it. Z's not a fan of it. I mean, I can't even imagine LeBron, Giannis, and AD. That would be extremely crazy. I just don't know how feasible it is. I don't know how feasible that would be. So, Anyway, yeah, we're gonna get off right now, Mike. Appreciate you calling us once again, bro. I wish we could talk more, but this Zoom is just being so annoying. There it is. It's done. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys can still hear me. I'm not sure. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can still hear me on the live video, but just hold on tight. I'm gonna reinvite Z and Derek through a new Zoom, and we'll just resume right where we left off. So we're gonna host a meeting, and yeah, I do believe that the Miami Heat and the Golden State Warriors, it's really his biggest options if he leaves Milwaukee. And it'd be upsetting if he left Milwaukee, no doubt. However, Miami Heat with Pat Riley would be amazing. And the Golden State Warriors, if you look even at just like Golden State and the Milwaukee Bucks, they have very similar coaching style. Like Mike Budenholzer was from San Antonio with Greg Popovich, and so was Steve Kerr. He played under Greg Popovich as well. Let's go get the Zoom call going. I'm gonna invite Z and Derek back to the show. And I heard the Lakers before. I heard the Los Angeles Lakers as an option. I don't think so. I think it sounds cool on paper, but I don't even know how you orchestrate a trade to make that happen. I don't know how feasible it is to make a trade. Otherwise, it's cool, but I just don't know how feasible it is in terms of the trade. So I definitely don't. I'm not sure how that would work. Let's see. I'll get you guys some highlights right now to keep you busy. Get some Giannis highlights right here.
So scores and he's fouled.
It's just a nice find right there. Good job of Bledsoe by cutting back door against a sleeping.
Giannis picks it up.
Yeah, I'm surprised Kareem. You know what I mean? Because Kareem never had something like that. Wow.
26.
Well, I think
Meatbug.
Things down. There's not many people on the planet that can make a move like that. 6'11" with point guard skills. Just got to appreciate it sometimes.
Yeah, it's tough.
Quarter, which Minnesota did not turn over.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, I'm a separate Knicks fan, so
beautifully done.
obviously,
He has 11.
there's going to be rumors circulating about Giannis
So
Antetokounmpo
they put
ultimately
length
wanting
on
to go to the
him,
Knicks.
and they
Those
just
rumors
back up,
always
and
swirl
then they
around,
get protect the
but as a
paint.
Knicks fan, you can't
A lot
let
of
that
teams
can't
have
even think
in
about it. Don't
vain
even
tried to
consider
guard
it, because
it.
what the Knicks like to do is the media likes to do this too. They push this guy. They push this guy as well.
Middleton, Antetokounmpo gets it a fault and the foul. He got there looking. And a chance for a three-point. Forcing a switch. And once you do switch, good job setting the screen, diving to the cup, getting the contact and the foul. This game is far from over.
Here he is again with that kind of push shot floater, and he's 2 for 5 in the field. Here's a lob for Giannis in transition. No contest at the rim.
You look at how quickly they get that ball up. Of course, he knows he's going to give it to Bledsoe, understanding and knowing he's going to get it back. A 2-on-1 break with these two explosive players right here, you can book it.
Now I'm hearing
Wesley Matthews hit a three, Rozier a 2.
That's an issue.
Just underway in Charlotte. Giannis, little fadeaway in the paint.
game terrific as a back to the basket
You guys
player.
are
Great
heroes.
pick and roll
I don't
man.
know if you guys can.
Giannis and 1. He's fouled by Diallo.
Supposed to-
And Derek the link.
The initial contact, keep bumping and bumping and bumping, trying to improve the condition. You got him bumped off of you. You've negated any chance he's going to have to contest.
Toronto tomorrow night.
Toronto is waiting on Milwaukee.
Yeah, I got a couple of these in the next few days.
Giannis inside.
You talk about Toronto waiting on Milwaukee.
Big came up empty, but a good shot to the
highlights real quick.
Giannis finds Matthews in the corner.
Let's do that. How's that, guys? How's that? Highlights better? I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm not trying to blow your ears out. You know me. I mean, if you got, I know the Knicks get a lot of hate. The New York Knicks, people do not like the Knicks. So you know, I'm not trying to get back at anyone, you know, for talking shit about the Knicks, but you know. I heard much better. There we go. That's what I like to hear. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Highlights right there. Yeah, so I just sent these guys the link. So if anyone wants to call in right now and keep busy, if anyone has any kind of NBA things they want to talk about, definitely call in. Definitely call in right now. Our next segment, we're going to be talking about which current NBA player resembles MJ the most. So that'll be fun. Here, I think we got Zion right here. Z is back, it looks like, which is really cool. That's awesome. There is Z. Z is back. How we doing, Z? We're back. Some trouble, but we made it. We're good. Let's see. We still got people watching. We lost one person, I saw. We had 4 before, now we have 3. Person had no patience. They couldn't trust the rebuild. They couldn't trust the rebuild, Z. We had 4 viewers. Z, we had 4 viewers and went down to 3 because someone didn't have patience. You gotta have patience. You gotta trust the process. What's good? We're back. We're back. We're back. Now, I just want to make sure that they didn't change the password and everything to call the live call in. Check that real quick. Guys, we're almost done. We're almost ready to go. They did. I'm just going to change that real quick for you guys. Yo, guys, talk more about the Bucks. We'll talk more about Giannis Antetokounmpo.
How do you stop that play?
Why?
Antetokounmpo, there's a Euro step layup, count it, and 1. The long stride.
What's the language, see? No, I'm kidding.
When he gets hit.
Yeah.
You see, the problems with the Warriors had in that first half.
You knew it.
Is when they allowed him.
Giannis, an easy rebound for him. All the way down, yes, and 1.
Keep the pressure on him, young fella. Underman in terms of rim protection inside, and Giannis is just going to attack C.J. McCollum, and then a nice job.
Knocked it away through a screen. Oh. Excellent defense in the restricted area. As Reed denied, Giannis blocked. Right-handed. Giannis wearing banana coloring. Zoom ones tonight, and he zooms to the basket.
Right here with a little.
All right.
Let's see. Move, just a change of pace off the crossover, absorbs the contact, and
that deep ball away.
That's awesome. And yeah, I think that Giannis Antetokounmpo, I mean, I didn't see it coming. People would always say that he was going to be one of the top tier players in the league. I never saw it, but was I proven wrong. All right, so we finally got everything back working. We updated on calling in, so you guys can now call in. Let's move on to our last segment of the day. Here we are, and yes, here we are. We are comparing, we're going to all decide which current NBA player most closely resembles Michael Jordan for us. Who wants to start with this one? Let's hear it. Let's hear it. What? We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Derek. We can't hear you. Yeah. All right, Z, you want to go first? Yes, yes.
A little 360 under the hoop, but Giannis just waiting for him. And if anybody's capable of...
All right, now I'm getting notifications that you guys cannot be heard. So give me 1 second because it's saying that they cannot hear you or they can't hear Z, which is an issue. It's not looking too good. Not looking too good. But guys, keep in mind this is our third time doing this. Not amazing. You know, we're not experts, but we're doing the best we can. So I just want to say that I think. Just give me a sec. Let me fix the audio real quick. I want to see if I can fix this real quick. Can you guys talk for me? Can you guys hear Z and Derek? Still can't hear you. All right. So it looks like they cannot hear you guys, unfortunately. So I don't know what to do. They cannot hear you guys. So right now, let me say this. So basically, Derek was saying that he believes that Kawhi Leonard is the closest player to Michael Jordan. And I see what you're saying because obviously he plays very similar in the way they play. Both shoot a lot of mid-range shots and jumpers. Both all-world defenders. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. So Kawhi Leonard, a world-class defender. He's a cold-blooded assassin, obviously. If you look, even in that 76ers game, in Game 7, when that shot went down, I mean, that was crazy. I mean, and I know like it kept bumping, but it eventually went in. That was like amazing. If you look, when they were playing against the Golden State Warriors in Game 5 of the NBA Finals, now the Raptors didn't win that game, but in the last 5 minutes, Kawhi Leonard hit 10 shots in a row. So he almost iced the game, Z. He almost iced the game. And obviously, I feel like Kobe Bryant, rest your soul, he plays closest to Michael Jordan. He's like an exact replica almost of Michael Jordan's game. But the biggest player, the player that really resembles Michael Jordan, it's obvious, and it's LeBron James. Okay, Derek? And I'm sorry, because LeBron James is a global icon. And if you try and categorize one player for each decade, for the 80s you get Magic Johnson, then Michael Jordan for the 90s, Kobe Bryant for the 2000s, and LeBron James for the 2010s. LeBron James is the modern day Michael Jordan. He's a global icon. He is the GOAT. He is the star of Space Jam, for goodness sake, just like Michael Jordan once was. So LeBron James right now, he's in the conversation as being one of the greatest players of all time. He's a model of consistency. I don't know how you guys don't say it's Michael Jordan. I don't know how you guys say it's not LeBron James. They both go, yeah. That's it. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. I don't think that they can hear you and Derek, which is quite a shame because you guys both say Kawhi Leonard, I say LeBron. We're gonna have to continue this conversation. We'll definitely do another live YouTube video for you guys coming up. But it's just upsetting that you guys seem that you can't hear Derek and Z. We gotta fix that in the future for sure. But basically, to sum up their views, they're saying Kawhi Leonard is the modern day Michael Jordan. I think LeBron James obviously is the modern day Michael Jordan, but you guys are pointing to the way they play and the same playing style. So, I mean, there's a case to be made for sure. I just don't know if I agree with it. I just don't know if I can agree with it. Try and twist me. Try and change my mind. Let's go. Yes. Do I think that LeBron James and Michael Jordan play the same? No. No. LeBron James' playing style is not necessarily Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan was more of a killer assassin where Michael Jordan he's either scoring the ball at will or he's playing at a top tier defensive level. LeBron James, he can be an underrated scorer. I think LeBron James is an underappreciated scorer. LeBron James is also a playmaker and he elevates the play of his teammates. I don't know if Michael Jordan necessarily did that. I'm not saying LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, of course, but in that area of play, LeBron James was definitely more of a facilitator, sort of almost like a Magic Johnson. But Michael Jordan is definitely different playing styles. But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about who they are. I'm talking about the GOAT. How Michael Jordan changed the game in the 1990s. He went down as one of the greatest players to ever play the game of basketball. LeBron James is literally Michael Jordan right now. He's Michael Jordan 2.0. He's even the star of Space Jam. I know I said it before. But I mean, I really believe it's how dominant you were over everyone else. That's what really makes you the Michael Jordan of a particular sport. LeBron James right now, his dominance, I mean, the world revolves around LeBron James. It's LeBron James's world, and we're all just living in it. It's true. It's true. Yeah. And once again, guys, if you guys want to call into the show, I know we had some technical difficulties. I'm not even sure if it's going to work, but try those links on the YouTube description. I changed them up so you guys should be able to call in if you want to. But I understand that I'm not sure how many viewers we have now as a result of all the problems that we faced, all the technical issues. We got to get a technical person at Ballaholics. If anyone, if you guys watching or you know anyone that's good with technical skills and that, let me know, and I'll bring them on the show for sure. They can help out with that in that area because we're in dire need of that because it's very unfortunate. We were having a very good show until it seems that we lost Z and Derek. I can hear you guys perfectly, but the viewers can't. So it's quite a shame. No, they still can't. I don't think. So it's pretty unfortunate. Anyway, I think on that note, we're going to end this episode. I mean, overall, I think it was a really fun episode, guys. Z and Derek, I had a lot of fun. Next time, we're definitely going to make sure that we fix those problems, those technical issues that we're running into for next time. But appreciate you guys coming on to the show. Had a really fun time. And for you guys watching at home, make sure to show Ballaholics some love on Instagram, Ballaholics_BTV6. Appreciate you guys calling in. Appreciate you guys watching the show. Thank you guys.